School shootings in America have now hit their highest number in over 20 years. Wow, no surprise here, but this was a startling kind of number. This was done by the National Center of Education and Statistics. What did they find, Farron?
93 incidents in the 2020-21 school year. 43 resulted in fatalities, 50 involved injuries, but 93 shootings at schools here in the United States, public and private, which means on a typical 180-day school year, every other school day in this country, somebody's getting shot in one of our schools.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the problem with it is the statistics speak for themselves. I mean, you can't hide these statistics. These numbers have gone, I mean, they're startling numbers. This is the highest total in the history of keeping up with these kind of statistics. And you can only hope that, look, maybe some good comes out of the effort to do something. I mean, the red flag law, I love it. You know, I love the idea of enhanced background check for people that are under 21. The idea of if you've been convicted of abuse of any kind, of spousal abuse, you can't get a gun without having to jump through some hoops. This is all good stuff. The idea of having youth mental health facilities that are improved and expanded.
And I think the more I think about it, especially after seeing these numbers, that may be the big one. Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, we understand we got more guns than anybody else. You and I have talked about that. But we got to get to the root of why this is even happening. Mm-hmm. You know, we have to get really into that psyche, talk to these people, try to figure out, avert problems before they happen. Because it is, as you and I have, again, talked about in recent weeks, it's not just that we have the guns. What is making these people want to use them against children? That's what we have to get to the heart of.
I think we've talked about this on other shows where the expansion of social media has also enhanced, almost put on steroids, the enhancement of bullying.
Yeah.
If you look at every one of these shooters, you go back, you take a look, it's the same pattern. You know, they've been called losers, and they're the folks that sit up in their room all day long at home, 8 hours a day on, you know, whatever they do. They're isolated. They're not really involved in what's going on around the school or whatever. And so it's that bullying aspect of social media is now coming to the forefront. As a matter of fact, some good friends of mine are bringing some cases that I think are going to prevail here, and that how does social media enhance the ability and actually promote this notion of bullying? I think there's something to this, and the best article I've seen about this overall picture talks about that with each one of these people, each one of these kids that have been involved in this. There's been some history of that.
Well, and you know, another part of that too, the other side of it really is that not only are these people experiencing more bullying because of the online presence, they also have their own communities of people who, you know, kind of have the same issues, where they talk about violence, where they all, you know, kind of feed off one another.
You're talking about blog,
yeah, message boards and things like that. And so you get these people who hype up these feelings of hate that you have. So that's another big part of it. You know, that's the second half.
But that's a social media vehicle.
Right.
Yeah.
And so again, with the mental health screenings and things like that, we have to start teaching parents, like, look for these signs, because it's not just the kids, the parents. Be an active parent.
Be a damn leader, a parent.
Really.
Walk into the room and say, "What the hell are you doing, kid?
Yeah.
You know what? Let me read what you've done on this computer." I mean, it doesn't take a lot to do that.
Sometimes it really is as simple as saying, hey, come on, let's play Monopoly.
Yeah.
Let's play a board game. Let's play Scrabble. And I'm not kidding. I mean, look, I have a 19-year-old who has moved out of the house, and he calls us every now and then. He says, "Hey,
let's play Scrabble.
Can I come over? We'll do like a game night."
Yeah.
Because those little things like that do have such an impact, and that falls on the parents. That's not on the kid. That's on the parents.
Hey, what's wrong with walking through the door and saying, you know, Mary, Joe, I want to see what you're doing. Let me take a look at your history on your. I want to see what you're up to. What's wrong with that?